Hey team, hey, thank you so much for hopping on our team call today. We are so excited that you are here. It is an epic day. We have the one and only amazing Sonya Dudley on our call. I know that you all know who she is, but I'm just going to share a little bit about her. Sonya and I have become amazing friends through this Plexus journey. We did not know each other beforehand. We met doing Super Saturday, what was that, 2014?
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the most important things that I've taken away from Sonya is that she is all in all the time. So if she's in a conversation with you, you are the only person that is in her world at that moment. And that is something that is really, she's taught me so much through that. Unless, of course, I'm holding Brinley in my arms. Then I'm number two. But we won't. True, right? But she is truly all in and gives her focus to whoever she is with. You just feel loved and admired and respected when she's with you, which is why I have no doubt that that's the reason that she has been so successful in this business, is it's all about relationships. But we do have some questions for you today that we're hoping you can answer for our team so that they can kind of get to know you a little bit more and you can share your experiences with them. So I'm going to kick it off. And my first question is, what is the number one thing that you would say that has made you most successful? So what's the most important thing for you?
Thank you for the introduction, Amy. You make me tear up every time because when you said we didn't even know each other before Plexus, I got tears. I literally got tears. It's just it just proves that life is about relationships, and that our business, if we can have a business where we build relationships and nurture them and love who we're with, that it's just we're in the right thing whenever we have a business where it's all about people we love. So I love you and love your team so much. So excited to come to Albany for Super Saturday in January that I can't even, when they told me I was going there, I was first like, I don't want to go to Canada this year because I've been to Canada twice in a year and a half and I'd like to stay in the States. So they sent me just as far up the map as they could without pushing me into Canada. And I was just so glad it was on this side with you guys because I have grown to love and appreciate and highly respect the team that you have, Amy, all your leaders, the ethics and morals. I just right along my lines with my heart. So glad to be a part of this. So what is the number one thing that I think has caused success? I'm going to tell you that really there can't just be one. There can't. I mean, because consistency, being all in and being consistent day in, day out, like it's a real job, like if I didn't work it, I would be fired. That would be right way up there, number one, number two. But then mindset, it's like if you almost can't be consistent and be all in and work without the right mindset. So I probably would say the number one thing would be being aware of your mindset and having a positive mindset at all times. Even I know people who think they're positive and they think they have a positive mindset and they say I'm positive and they talk about, but they're not, because their first thoughts when something happens, they may not verbalize it, but you know what I'm talking about. If your first thought is, oh no, then your mindset's not positive. You've got to make it, you got to walk the walk. It can't just be you talk about it. You got to truly go, okay, Sonya, if you're thinking negative when you hear that, how can that be changed? The worst thing can happen and you got to go, okay, that's bad, but okay, it's bad, but you know what? How can I look at this different? How can I see past this? How can I find a solution? Because I'm sure it's not the worst thing that's ever happened to somebody. Like that's where you got to get to. So I probably would say mindset. Yeah. Belief, mindset.
I love it. And I totally agree. Hi, Sonya. It's Kathleen.
Hey, Kathleen.
I'm so excited to give you the next question, because it's perfect that you're coming up to Albany, because just the way that you had said in a lot of your discussions that you are from a small town. Up in New York, we have a lot of pockets of small towns separated by farms and that kind of thing, upstate. So when you had said that you have reached Diamond, you have a wonderful group of level 1 ambassadors that you have cultivated and enriched and led to leaders. And my question hit me like a ton of bricks last month when you hit that double diamond bonus in October, meaning that you had 3 new ambassadors and 3 new customers. Those kinds of things are difficult to overcome in a small town. How do you keep finding new people to reach out to? And how do you come across when people come to you and say their market is tapped out or their area is tapped out?
Okay. Well, great question, Kathleen. We live in a county of 7,000. My town is probably 2,000, probably 900 in my city limits. So very small, a lot of Mennonite community here, Amish, you know, an hour to shop, 45 minutes to a Walmart. So very rural, very rural. You know, and it's not like I'm out of my house every day going to the nearest dollar store and meeting people, because literally that's the only thing in our town is a dollar store. You know, I'm getting ready to go to the dollar store after this call because I got to get some stuff. And I mean, if when you're born and raised somewhere, you just know everybody. They knew me before and they know me now. And so I know a lot of the people that are out and about. So, I mean, I don't purposely say, hey, Sue, how's your health going? I probably got something you need. It's like they know what I'm doing. But as we talk, you know, how are you doing? And they tell me, you know, I bring it up. You know, they may say, you know, I'm not doing so well. I'm going through this. And I just conversate with them. You're kidding. Well, you know what? I know I've been in Plexus a while. I'm not sure if you've even tried it, but have you thought about our probiotic? Because I tell you what, I've seen miracles with that stuff. So I kind of go more of that. I'm talking about people that I really know, okay, that I can just have that real conversation like, listen, now I know you tried it a year ago with me or 2 years ago, but I'm telling you, if you just get back on it and you be consistent, I tell you, Susie, that's how I talk to people I know. I'm just real with them, but in a loving way. But as you know, there are people that I run into in this town that I don't know. There are. And usually though, when that happens, it's more of I'm in a store and the person there's people around me that know me. So the person who doesn't know me, you know, they might overhear me talk about Plexus. Yeah, I'm still doing that, Susie. And then, but it's not like I go out every day in my small town and look for prospects. I have sent a clear message to the world. Facebook, in person, my real life, people know Plexus is just a part of my life. So because of that, people will reach out to me. People will send me people. I had a person last week who was one of my very first customers. She Facebook messaged me and said, hey, I know I hadn't been on the product in a couple years. My diabetes was under control with Plexus, and I know I need to get back on it. See, they came back to me because half the people that, you know, were on it here or were selling it here may not be selling it anymore. They know who they can count on. So in a small town, I think that you just have to always be out and about, always be positive, always wear your Plexus. I always wear my Plexus attire, always in my small town, because it's that connection of they see me and go, oh, you're still doing that stuff, aren't you? Or I see your shirt, you still doing that? You know, it's that. So there's no answer on how I go prospect people I don't know. But I can tell you in my town that I know, it's never saturated. there's no way, because people get on it, they get off of it. People know people who need it. People move into the town. There's no such thing as saturation. I don't even know where people get that word, really. It can't exist. I mean, we have 15 jewels who have come from this town. A few have moved off now, but maybe that number's higher with some that I think about. There's a girl who's under Lori Welch. I forgot about her. She used to live here. I forgot about her. She's a diamond. But probably 15 to 16 people. I mean, are you kidding? We have 2 red lights in the entire county. 1 school, 1 high school, and there's 15 jewels that have come from here? I'm the wrong person to look at and say saturation. So,
amen. Thank you. Thank you. All right, who's up next?
Hi, Sonya.
Hey, Erin.
We have 72 people on, okay? So make sure you tell everyone that I'm your favorite.
Okay.
Right? But that's saturation piece.
No, we all know it's Brinley.
I said after Brinley. After Brinley.
Sounds good. I'll take that. I love that. That saturation piece totally ties into that mindset too. If that's in your head, that's how you're going to think. And I think those two tie together.
They do. And with that said, when I started Plexus, there were no jewels in Tennessee. There were no diamonds in the company. And no one knew what Plexus was. No one. And there were 18,000 ambassadors in the whole company and 18 jewels in the whole company with no diamonds. I could have easily said, I could never do this because there's no catalogs, there's no videos, there's no nothing, nobody knows. It is all about mindset. Nothing can convince me different.
Yep, I love that. So true.
Yep.
Okay, my question has to do with best business practices. This team is amazing at assigning people with welcome packs. That's how we've always trained. But could you speak a little bit to welcome packs and maybe any other best business practices that you think are really important for business builders?
Sure. So I did not know until I was probably an emerald or sapphire that you could bring someone in without a welcome pack. I had no idea that it was an option. And when I found out it was an option, I was like, well, why would you do that? Because they get the best deal and it's part of the compensation plan. When someone can make money the next week, they're not going to quit on you right away. So when I joined, Helen sponsored me 5 minutes after she joined. She called me and gave me her number, and I signed up. And I sponsored 3 people with $199 welcome packs within a couple days. So I got $150 the next Friday. And I think Helen got, what would that be, like 100 or 75? I don't know, a lot. Mm-hmm. That sold us on welcome packs. Because we thought, man, that's what we talked about to people was you can join, Susie, and oh my gosh, next week you can make a paycheck of anywhere from $100 to or $75 to $150 next week, and then you're going to get another $100 from that the next month as a bonus. Oh my gosh! Like we believed that was the key to growth. Was bringing people in with welcome packs. Now, it's also, I understand there are people who are not doing that for some reason. Maybe they're trying to get points up front instead of getting the instant, weekly bonus. And I understand there's exceptions to the rules. Maybe somebody's 5 or 10 points away from hitting gold, and I understand there's exceptions, but I also believe you've got to give people that option, and you've got to give them the option. You got to do what's best for the person, but typically what's best for the person is welcome pack. And I believe retention in the end, when you're bringing people in with a welcome kit, welcome pack, they're making money on the front end. So I feel like they're going to be retained a little more than if you bring them in with points and you're hoping that they'll order a welcome pack in 60 days, but they don't. Well, they're not going to really bring people in with a welcome pack. I mean, it's like you duplicate what you believe strongly in. And if you're passionate about, oh my gosh, you can earn $150 by the end of next week. Let me show you how. If you're passionate about that, people see that, they feel it, and they'll follow your lead. People don't follow a parked car. They follow a moving car with passion. So it's all about that. Other ethics and business practices that I strongly believe in is, when people have talked to someone else about Plexus, and, how do you know? Well, when you start talking to someone and they go, oh, yeah, the pink drink, it would be easy to just say, yep, yeah, so let me get your name and number and I'll get with you. But what you have to do is you have to say, oh, wow, you've heard of it. What do you know about the pink drink? Well, my cousin has tried to get me to do it. Oh, okay. Well, so how long has that been? And, oh, it was a couple years ago. I don't know if she's doing it anymore. Oh, okay. Well, great. Or, oh, that was a month or 2 ago or 4 months ago. Oh, is she still doing it? Here's the thing. You dig deep to find out the truth. You dig deep to get to the answers, because if you don't dig deep now, and it turns out to be that they sign with you, and then they come back to you in a few days and go, oh my gosh, my cousin is so upset I didn't sign with her. I want to sign with her. Then you got to do the right thing, and you got to try to get it switched over, and it's a big deal. It sours everybody. It breaks momentum for the new person. It's not fair. So you might as well get to the bottom of it in the beginning so you can sleep at night. And it pays off in the end to do the right thing. I've done this a lot. I've planted seeds. I was so excited. And then I found out, at the end of the conversation, they go, yeah, my sister does it. And she's been trying to get me to do it. And you're like, oh gosh. I'm like, okay, go. You need to join today, Susie, with your sister. And then I always get somebody great in a month or two. God always rewards good behavior and good morals and good heart. And so I just believe that in the end, not one person is worth it. Not, yeah, this person may hit emerald in 6 months and you're going, oh, I wished I had her. But I believe if you do the right thing, I just believe in the end it's the right thing to do. You just got to do it. I mean, so that's another practice I believe in. Now, is it the customer's decision? Yes. So that customer says, yes, I've talked to somebody 3 weeks ago about this, but I do not like the person. She gets on my nerves. I don't like her. I wouldn't sign with her if I had to. Then you know what? Okay, Susie, it's your call. I just want you to know that when that person finds out you've signed up with me, you've got to be willing to tell them the truth. You've got to be willing, Susie, to say to that person, yeah, I signed up with Erin because I didn't feel like we could work together. And Erin was upfront with me. And Erin said that I needed to let you know and that it was my decision. So I kind of put it on the new person signing. Okay? I asked the new person, are you going to be willing to tell your cousin or your friend at work why you chose to sign up with me? And are you going to be willing to tell them that I told you it was your call? So as long as, listen, guys, when when you're a little 4-year-old in the corner doing the wrong thing. You know. You don't have to be told, ask one more question, dig a little deeper. You either do or you don't, and you're doing right and wrong. You're an adult, so.
I love it. I've always said you've got to be able to lay your head down on your pillow at night and know that you were doing the right thing. And that's how we as leaders have always led this team, is to just do what's right for the people that are joining us. So I'm glad that you went into that. Thank you. Okay, so I'm next. And my next question is, it's kind of about mistakes, right? I mean, I think that we would all agree that we got here by probably making a lot of mistakes. I know I make mistakes probably every single day. The point is to just kind of learn from them. And I think the greatest lessons that I can teach our team is by teaching them the lessons that I've made along the way, by teaching them by the mistakes that I've made along the way, and being vulnerable and open. So I was hoping that you could share something that maybe when you first joined, you know, if you could go back to when you first joined, what would you tell yourself that you didn't know then that maybe could help you from making a mistake or two?
Probably I would tell myself that you're gonna win some and lose some. You're not gonna please everyone. So quit, Sonya, quit trying to, you do your best with people. You believe in them, you pour into them, you tell your customers, listen, I'm here to run with you. I'm here to coach you. You know, this product, it works for people that work with it. But if you decide, you know, that you don't want to do it anymore, let me know. Let me know. Give me that courtesy to just let me know. And I guess just to know that you're going to be disappointed, but that you're going to be okay from that. That you are going to sponsor people, you're going to get customers, and then you're going to lose about half of them over time. And that it's okay, that's normal. And it's nothing personal. It's normal. So I guess to tell myself that disappointment with people will disappoint me in all areas in this business, but that it's very normal and it's not personal and it's not me. It's to teach me lessons, and that I'm going to grow from them, you know, and people will disappoint you. It's a volunteer business. Most people won't stick with you, customers or ambassadors, because it's a lot easier just to quit. It's a lot easier to find something else, a fad diet. Something new and fun to sell is always easier than to dig deep and break through fears and barriers and overcome and to grow. And most people don't want to go through the pain of growing. And they may not realize that's why they're quitting or that's why they're moving on to something else. But that's why typically it's just too hard. So that's probably what I would tell myself. One more thing I would probably tell myself is not to feel like I had to know all the answers for people, is to give them more resources instead of the answers. So people say, a new ambassador says, Sonya, where do I find, or tell me what's all in the ingredients in the ProBio. And I'd be like, okay, hang on. And I'd turn dinner off and I would cater to every move, you know, that first 3 months. And I remember as we were growing, because we hit gold the end of the end of November, I hit gold. I joined in September, hit gold the end of November, and quit my job. In November and December, I probably had 5 baths. I probably took a bath once a week. I couldn't even get up. I had the cell phone, the iPad, the computer, and the telephone, and all I did was respond. We were growing stupidly, insanely fast, like you did, Amy. And so I was Emerald March the 22nd, like before Auto Qual Day. Like, we grew stupid, okay? And I tell you that to say that by the end of November and December, middle of December, I remember reaching out to Sheila Medina, and I said, Sheila, I have not had a bath in 3 days. And I have not cooked dinner. I have not gotten out of my pajamas. She goes, Sonya, I bet you are answering every message right away. You're probably trying to answer the questions instead of telling them where to find them. Have you typed out something that you can copy paste to people? I had not done any of that. So I remember just taking an hour or two and going, okay, I can do this. So I typed out something that, you know, all the people going, what is that stuff? What is that? I want to do it. I want to take it. I want to sell it. I remember having a script I could just copy paste, and it helped me so much. And same with when people would say, where's the ingredients? I'd go, hey, if you go to Q&A in your back office under library, it's right there. you know, but she also said, don't answer the message right away. Give them an hour or two to answer. So that was, she does not realize what a priceless jewel that was for me that day, nugget, because I still do that today, and I remember that today. So
that's huge. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, my dear, I'm up next. Knowing that, I love when you were saying, yes, you grew so fast, and not knowing the information in the very beginning, which is great. And I know a lot of people that are on this call don't feel that, but they're feeling the opposite. But when they do find new people that they would like to join the company and join the business, what are the top 3 things that you have trained your new people with to get them started on the right foot so they can take this business seriously, not just the products, but the business? Because so often lately, we're signing people on, yes, because the products work wonderfully, and yes, wholesale ambassadors, they get a great discount, but what are you saying to your new people as you bring them on to get them started on the business front quickly and easily and solidly?
Kathleen, I usually I really want to dig down to why they're even doing this. Why are you doing this? What do you see for your family in 6 months? What do you see for your family next month, as far as if you could add an extra $300 or $400? What would that do for your family? What could you do with that? And so really digging deep to find out what they need. And then that way I can keep bringing that up. But I really encourage them to, do their Frank's list, start going through their list. But I encourage them to, hey, let's do 3-way calls. You know what, Susie, get me on a quick FaceTime with your friend. Like, you're going to go to your friend's house tomorrow, you said. Let's jump on quick, 10 minutes FaceTime. Just tell your friend, listen, I'm brand new at this. I don't know everything I'm doing, but I'm excited. And I want you to meet my friend Sonya, who's got a great story on her health and her how it's changed her family's life. I just want her to share for 5 minutes. And then see if you have any questions for her. And so I really encourage 3-way Zooms, 10 minutes, 3-way FaceTimes, 3-way calls. But you have to guide them in what to say to that person. Otherwise they're gonna be intimidated. How am I gonna tell my friend that I want them to talk to my Diamond Ambassador? No, you say to your friend, hey, my friend Sonya, who got me in this business, she's so laid back. She's so fun. She's just a normal like me and you. And I want her to just share with you her quick testimony on how the products and business have changed her family's life. So let's do that tomorrow, Susie. What time's good for you? And that's how you got to teach them what to say, so they're not intimidated to say that to their friends. And then say, you know what? Let's do 3 or 4 or 5 of those this week. And if we do, I'll have a little prize for you. And go that route.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And it seems it's so much simpler than people take it as. They put so much pressure on themselves to make themselves perfect. No one has to be perfect. It's just conversations. So thank you.
I think that's a huge conversation that we've been having lately as leaders, is that I feel like now that we have the tools and resources, I feel like so many people are overcomplicating the business.
Mm-hmm.
They have to know everything. They have to have every tool. They have to have every resource. And at the base of it all is relationship. And that's what you just touched on. This is my friend Sonya. She's just my friend. And I just want you to hear from her how it's changed her life, because I've only been on the products for a week. So I think that's huge. That is just taking it back to basics, stripping it down to what it needs to be.
Love it.
It is. And the thing too is it gives that new ambassador confidence. Mm-hmm. It gives that new ambassador confidence in going, wow, I mean, gosh, she didn't really do anything that I couldn't do. That was just like, she didn't even have, she didn't go through steps of anything. She just, and what I do is I say to the person, thank you for taking 10 minutes just to chat with us. You know, Susie's brand new getting started, and I told her I would just share my story with you. She says you're one of her greatest friends, and you know, I don't want you to think that I'm here to bite you. I'm just here to share my story. When I'm finished, I'd love for you to just kind of tell me a little bit about you, and if you could even see that Plexus could help you in your health or your family situation. There's no pressure here. So I just want you to know that before I get started, Mary. And then I just get started, you know.
Love it.
I love that. And third-party validation is such a big deal. It's huge.
Huge. It's everything.
I will wrap it up with this last question. What are some really important character traits, characteristic qualities in successful ambassadors or successful people in this business? And what do you think some qualities that characteristics that might be holding people back from succeeding?
Okay. Oh, that's a good one. You know what I look for in a person? I look for someone who has a strong will to, like a strong work ethic. Maybe someone who does have 2 and 3 jobs. Busy people who have influence. I look for people who are just warm and loving people, like they love people. That's what I look for more than anything. Now, you can teach people anything if they have a will to be coached and they have a will to win. You can't give somebody will. You can't give somebody a willable spirit. You can't give them that, but you can teach them. So I would rather find someone who's coachable, willable, trainable, teachable, than to find someone who has all these, you know, organizational skills, but they have no desire. You know, people say to me, oh, my friend Mary would be so good. She knows everyone, and she's been great in sales and da-da-da. Okay, does she have a need? Does she want this? Does she have a need for more in her life? They got to have a need in their life. So I look for someone who has a need. I love someone who's has influence. That's great. It's a bonus. But more of if they have a need and they have a desire for something, you know, their why has to be there. So, and what can hinder people? Probably characteristics like thinking that they have to know everything before they get started. Those C personalities, we call them C and DISC. They're green personalities in the color wheel, but they think they got to know every detail. That can be a hindrance. A lot of things can be a hindrance. I mean, people prejudging people can be a hindrance. Can be a big hindrance, because typically the people that you're prejudging, you're looking over the ones that really would be your best. So yeah, that list could go on and on, but probably those things.
Thank you.
Great. I love it. I love that you touched on busy people, because that's something that we talk about a lot, is that oftentimes when you're making your list, you go, oh, well, Sally couldn't do this. She's got 3 jobs and she's got 7 kids. And, you know, there's a reason she has 3 jobs. You know, she's willing to get out there and work because she wants better for her family. And what better way than to give her an opportunity like Plexus. So I'm really glad you touched on that.
And you could take those, what I used to do, what I still do, is when people say, I'm so busy, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm like, listen, busy people get it done because you're around people all day. Mm-hmm. This business doesn't require you to go do parties. It doesn't require you to spend 3 hours a night on the phone. You are a perfect candidate because your busyness is where you're going to find your network. Oh my gosh, you're the kind of person I look for. So take any excuse that you think you're going to get. I don't have enough money. Oh my gosh, that's exactly why you need Plexus. I don't have time. Oh my gosh, that's exactly why you need Plexus. Let me show you how it works with busy people. Oh my gosh, I'm not a salesperson. Oh my gosh, that's great. We don't even look for those people. In fact, we don't like people with tons of sales experience, because this is not about selling. It's about sharing and caring and a relationship. So every excuse that you anticipate, think of how you can use that as the reason to bring them in.
I love it. I love it. Okay, I think we hit all of our questions for you. I know that as leaders, we were going to open it up to answer questions for them. If you can't stick on, that's fine. I know that you are super, super busy, but we were going to stick around to answer questions for our team, or if you want to stick around for a couple, whatever. I know that your day is busy, so.
So I was just reading through all the chats. And Karen says she has a love affair with my voice. And I want to tell you, Karen, that for years as a young girl and a teenager, I had a real issue with my voice. I used to hate my voice because I would say that it sounded like a man and it was too raspy, and I always felt self-conscious about it. And it's just funny how God can turn what you think are your weaknesses and your hang-ups to bless, other people, see them as a blessing. So don't get caught up in what you think is something wrong with you, because God's going to use it for a purpose. There's things that you can't change about yourself, and the things that cannot be changed, I want you to start looking at those things as a blessing. If you have a nose that you hate, and you can. I get that. You can get a nose job. I get that. Okay, but I can't change my voice. So things that God made you, appreciate them. And so thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. It brought up that thought that I have often. So thank you. Yeah, questions? Sure.
Well, I do know there are a bunch of girls and guys on here that do have questions, especially those that are starting to grow. So if you would, that are growing quickly. So if you guys have questions and you feel more comfortable putting them in the chat, feel free. Or you can try to unmute yourself if you'd like to too. Putting them in the chat's a little bit easier. But I do know there are a bunch of, up in New York, we have a lot of loud and boisterous people. So the fact that they're not asking questions yet, that's pretty shocking.
Well, okay, so Anne's got one. When you feel your mindset slipping, what do you do? So what you do is you realize your mindset's slipping. That's the greatest thing you can do, is go, oh, I feel myself slipping. Like if you feel it slipping, that's great news, because that means you can do something about it. So you just go back to listening to your affirmations that you've put on your phone. If you need to make them more fun and exciting, change it up a little, whatever you have to do. You just remember that your actions will follow your mindset. So if you don't like where it's going, you got to go back to this, okay? I have seen someone, how about I take about 7 questions, and then I'll jump off. I need to be gone I need to leave here in about 15 minutes.
No, feel free.
So I'm just going to take them in order. That was number 1. I have someone who wants to become an ambassador after the holidays. How can I convince her now is the time? Oh my gosh, Susie, I understand you want to wait till after the holidays. I get it. I know how crazy it is in the holidays. But if I can offer you something to think about, I want you to think about this. I understand there's no pressure, but I want to offer you to think about this. You're going to see a lot of people during the holidays that you otherwise might not see. You're going to be busy out there. Oh my gosh, Christmas shopping, parties, family. It's going to be crazy, unlimited. Why don't you think about joining, getting on the products, helping keep yourself, you can actually lose weight during the holidays on Plexus, but you can learn about the products. You can be plugged into learning about how they work. You can watch people using the products and go, wow, that combo is going to work. And you can be learning all through the holidays, writing down all those people you're connecting with. And then January 1, honey, or right after Christmas, you can call those people, or you can even say to those people, Susie, when you're meeting them, hey, Susie, Mary, I'm going to get back with you after the holidays. I got something I want to tell you about. But it's a great way for you to open their mind to other things. You don't have to sell it, Susie, during the holidays. But what you can be doing is, as you can be taking names, and you're going to have people that go, man, I wish I could lose some weight in January. You know what? Here's my website. Take it. You may even want to get on it before the holidays so you can maintain through the holidays. You don't have to sell it, but you can have a website to give people that do want to maintain or lose through the holidays. So that's an easy one. That's an easy one. You can give them 100 ways.
I love it. I think the next one down was from Vicki and Shanna. It says, what is your best way to bring your team together to get them working and motivating each other?
Well, you can do little Zooms, little pockets of Zooms. I don't know how big your team is, but you can do little pockets of Zooms like we're doing today. Say, hey, guys, I want to get together. We're going to have a little slumber party, a little morning coffee. We're going to brainstorm and just make it more of a fun thing you're getting together to do. You could do a book club. You could do little pockets of things like that. That's one little idea. You can't make people work, but you can make them feel like they're part of a team culture, something like that. How do you overcome the white lines and motivate the greens? Go get some new horses when it comes to the white lines. You can only inspire people. You can't make the white lines come back. You just, most of that is, just them watching you work, them watching other people work. But here's the deal. You're going to have a lot of white lines. Just move on. Motivate the green lines. You just work. You create team culture. You do Zooms. You do what we talked about in the beginning. This is a volunteer business. You're always going to lose people. You get 10 new people on your team this month. You're going to have half of them in about 3 months. So just knowing that up front is a good thing. You never quit working. It's a business. You're working. You check your list off every day. I'm adding new people. I'm adding new people. I'm adding new people. It's a checklist because you're losing new people too. All right. How far down do you reach on your team when you see newbies that maybe aren't getting support, or do you put out a blanket statement in your team group that anyone can reach up to you? I don't have a big team page because we only have levels 1 through 3 on our team page. We had one that was 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 people, and it got to where it was a full-time job and it was negative and it was horrible, and we got rid of it. So we only have a small team page. So I really don't have that issue. But I do have level 4s and 5s who don't have anybody in between working, and I treat them as level 1s. They're on my team page. It also can motivate the people above them, but the purpose of that is just they're superstars. They're my level 5s, level 6s, and they don't have anybody to work with, so they're mine. That's the way I look at that. I don't really put a blanket statement out there. I just look for the people that I see that have high PV, that are working, that are consistent, that are on my calls, that reach out to me, that come to events. And if they're level 5 or 6, oh well, they're a rock star with no one in between. I treat them as my own. Okay. I have 22 ambassadors, some wanting to sell, some just doing it for price. However, they just keep starting and stopping. How can I motivate them more and to work their business? Nothing is given to you on a plate. I think we've covered all that. I mean, you have just got to realize if you stay consistent and you share vision all the time and you give hope all the time, they're either going to catch it or they're not. And if they're stopping and starting, they're running into fear barriers, and you have to learn to help them overcome that. Susie, I noticed, you were doing great, and I noticed for the last 3 weeks you haven't posted, you haven't attended anything, you're not engaged. Is there anything that's happened that I can help you overcome? Is there any way that I could help you? Because I know you want this, and I believe in you. Is there anything I can do to help you? I mean, that's all you can do. I think we make this too hard. Yeah. Okay. How about I end with Taryn? I hear mixed things about signing people as customers first, and others say do wholesale. I am almost Ruby, and I'm constantly on the fence about both. What do I do? I really believe that if Sheila taught us this early on, if you plus 2, You know, if you're going to bring on 2 people in your family or friends that want the products too, then it makes sense for you to be a wholesale ambassador, because it makes sense. But if you're going to be a wholesale ambassador and you're just wanting to get your own products at wholesale, only if it's over 100 PV does it make sense for you to do that, Susie. Otherwise, you need to be a preferred customer. But if you plan on doing a triplex or higher every month, then it makes sense for you to be a wholesale member. Otherwise, it doesn't. And that's kind of my thoughts on that. That's kind of what I believe on that. So, yeah, how about that?
Love it. We've always said that too as a team, that, you know, if you're willing to share it with 1 or 2 people, then great. You know, that's
good.
That's the whole point of an ambassador, really. You know, if you're just doing it to be a customer, it's not benefiting anybody by doing that, really.
Right, especially if they're only going to do $90 PV. So that's why I ask them.
Right.
And then I'll do this last one here with Noreen. What do you say to customers with die-off symptoms not seeing results? I always present anything that I think could be something people are going to see. I present that in the beginning. I would say, Amy, you may experience some die-off symptoms. You've got a lot of gut issues. You've told me a lot about what's going on. Listen, we're going to start slowly because you could experience some die-off symptoms. I want you to know those are not fun and you could experience them, but I want you to know I'm here to help you push through them and figure it out. You know, anything, it could take you, Susie, because of all the issues you've told me, it could take you 3 to 6 months to get completely healed up in the gut. This could be a long process. You know, if you're not willing to give it 60 days, 90 days, I don't know that these products are going to, I don't know, you know, they're going to be for you if you're not willing to work on healing the gut. Mm-hmm. So I say address things, you know, in the beginning that you could get so that you're not, you're not reacting, you're being proactive. You know, same with their water. If you're not willing to drink your water, if you're not willing to work with me and respond to me and let me help you, you know, maybe it's not a good time in your life to be on these products right now.
I love it.
People follow confidence and boldness. People follow that. And if you're not willing to be bold and say, you know, it may not be for you right now, people want to work with people with that kind of confidence and boldness. So I hope that helps. And I'm kind of losing my wind, and because I'm sitting down and these pants are tight because I'm bending over. And so
we love you so, so much. Thank you so much for being on our call today. You don't know what it means to all of us to have you here. And I mean, especially a daytime call. We pulled almost 100 people in on this call. I mean, just huge. So people wanted to hear from you. So we thank you so much. And you know, I love you.
We love you.
All of you. Thank you again. And, you know, just go make it happen. This is our best season. So go make it happen, guys. See you in Albany.
Yay! Love you.
Love you too.
Okay. Bye.